8 rounds of boxing. It is brought to you by Jake Paul and Nikisa Badarian.
We fight hard, fight clean.
Jake Paul finally met his match. Mike Tyson dominates in a historic showdown. The anticipation was electric as the crowd gathered for what was billed as a monumental clash in the boxing world. Social media sensation turned professional boxer Jake Paul was set to face none other than the legendary Mike Tyson, famously known as Iron Mike Tyson, in a ring that promised to deliver fireworks. Fans and critics alike were abuzz with speculation. Could the young YouTuber truly stand toe-to-toe with one of boxing's most formidable figures? Jake Paul, whose rise in the boxing scene has been meteoric, had meticulously crafted his career by selecting opponents who were predominantly older, retired fighters past their primes. This strategy allowed Paul to amass a respectable records, fostering an image of invincibility that resonated with his massive online following. However, this approach also drew ire from boxing purists who argued that Paul's bouts were more about spectacle and social media clout than genuine athletic competition. Enter Mike Tyson, the former heavyweight champion who reigned supreme in the late 1980s and early 1990s. Tyson, a name synonymous with raw power and aggressive fighting style, had long since retired from professional boxing. At 58 years old, many considered Tyson's era of dominance to be a bygone chapter in the sport's rich history. Nevertheless, the mere prospect of Tyson stepping back into the ring, even at his advanced age, ignited the imaginations of boxing enthusiasts around the globe. Jake Paul's announcement to face Tyson was met with a mixture of excitement and skepticism. Paul's camp viewed Tyson as another notch in his ever-growing list of conquests, underestimating the depth of Tyson's experience and the enduring power that had cemented his legendary status. The fight was officially sanctioned with modified rules, 2-minute rounds and 14-ounce gloves, adjustments intended to provide extra protection, particularly for the older Tyson. Despite these changes, the air was thick with tension as fight night approached. Paul and his team were confident in their strategy. They believed that Tyson's advanced age and prolonged hiatus from the sport would render him vulnerable, making him an easy target for Paul to exploit. The youth and recent in-ring experience of Paul were seen as significant advantages that would tip the scales in his favor against the aging icon. However, what Paul's camp failed to fully anticipate was Tyson's unwavering dedication to training and his ability to adapt, even after years away from professional competition. On the night of the fight, Tyson entered the ring not merely as a former champion, but as a man who still possessed the instincts and power that had once made him a fearsome contender. His preparation leading up to the fight had been intense, a testament to his enduring commitment to the sport. As the bell rang, the disparity in experience between the two fighters became immediately evident. Jake Paul, brimming with youthful energy, approached the fight with aggression, aiming to establish his reach and control the pace from the outset. However, Tyson, with decades of experience, swiftly neutralized Paul's strategy. His speed and agility were surprising, allowing him to close the distance effectively, cut off the ring, and force Paul onto the defensive. Tyson's mastery of footwork and ring control left Paul with little room to maneuver, undermining the YouTuber's attempts to assert dominance. Tyson's strategy was clear from the beginning. He focused on dismantling Paul's defense with powerful body shots, each punch thudding into Paul's midsection with the weight of seasoned precision. These were not the tentative jabs of a fighter past his prime, but the calculated blows of a veteran who understood the intricacies of breaking down an opponent. Paul's ribs and liver were targeted with such accuracy that the younger boxer was visibly shaken, struggling to maintain his composure against Tyson's relentless assault. As the rounds progressed, the difference in skill and experience became increasingly apparent. Paul, likely expecting Tyson to be slower and more hesitant, found himself overwhelmed by the ferocity of the older fighter's attacks. Tyson's ability to slip past Paul's punches and land his own demonstrated his high ring IQ and deep understanding of boxing fundamentals. Every time Paul attempted to create distance or mount an offense, Tyson was there with a punishing hook or uppercut, leaving Paul with little opportunity to recover or counter. The turning point came midway through the first round. After systematically softening Paul with a series of body shots, Tyson unleashed a perfectly timed right hook that caught Paul square on the chin. The impact was immediate and devastating. Paul's head snapped back, his legs buckled, and he staggered backward, clearly dazed by the force of the punch. The crowd, sensing the impending conclusion, erupted in anticipation as Tyson, ever the predator, moved in for the kill. With Paul reeling, Tyson delivered a brutal combination that sealed the fight's outcome. A left hook to the body was followed by a right uppercut to the chin, sending Paul crashing to the canvas. The knockout punch was a stark reminder of the power that had made Tyson a legend in the first place. Paul lay motionless on the mat as the referee swiftly intervened, waving off the fight before Tyson could land any further blows. The entire contest lasted just under 2 minutes, a testament to Tyson's enduring power and Paul's critical misjudgment of the challenge he had undertaken. In the aftermath, the contrasting reactions of the two fighters were telling. Tyson returned to his corner with the calm demeanor of a man who had simply done his job, showing no signs of grandstanding, only the quiet confidence of a warrior reaffirming his status as formidable force in boxing. Paul, on the other hand, was left to grapple with the harsh reality of his defeat. His carefully constructed image as an invincible disruptor had been shattered in less than 2 minutes by a fighter who, despite his age, still possessed the ability to end a fight with a single well-placed punch. This loss served as a humbling experience for Jake Paul. Up until that point, he had managed to control the narrative around his boxing career, positioning himself as a disruptor who could inject new energy into the sport. However, his defeat to Tyson exposed the limitations of his abilities and underscored the dangers of underestimating the sport of boxing. It was a stark reminder that boxing is not merely a platform for social media stunts or a game where one can cherry-pick opponents for record building. Instead, it is a sport that demands respect, dedication, and a profound understanding of its craft. For Mike Tyson, the victory was a reaffirmation of his legendary status. Despite the passage of time, Tyson demonstrated that true greatness in boxing is not something that can be manufactured or faked. It is earned through years of hard work, sacrifice, and unwavering dedication. His performance was a testament to the enduring power of experience and skill, serving as a powerful reminder that even in an era increasingly dominated by social media and spectacle, the fundamental principles of boxing remain paramount. The implications of this fight extend beyond the personal narratives of the two fighters involved. Tyson's knockout of Jake Paul sends a clear message to the boxing world. While the sport may evolve and embrace new dynamics, the core values of discipline, skill, and respect must remain intact. The ring is not a place for shortcuts or gimmicks. It is a sacred arena where only the strongest, most skilled, and most dedicated can thrive. This fight stands as a victory not just for Tyson, but for boxing itself, reaffirming the sport's rich legacy and its capacity to humble those who take it lightly. Looking ahead, the fight between Jake Paul and Mike Tyson is likely to be remembered as a significant moment in boxing history, a clash that brought together two very different worlds and, in doing so, highlighted the enduring truths of the sport. Tyson's knockout of Paul was more than just a victory, it was a statement about the nature of boxing itself. In a sport where fame and spectacle can sometimes overshadow skill and dedication, Tyson's performance was a potent reminder that the fighters who truly dedicate themselves to the craft are the ones who stand the test of time. For Jake Paul, the road ahead is uncertain. The loss to Tyson could serve as a pivotal moment, pushing him to either fully dedicate himself to the sport of boxing or reconsider his path altogether. The days of cherry-picking fights to build an impressive record may very well be over for Paul. If he is serious about his boxing career, he will need to face real challenges and prove his worth in the ring against formidable opponents. The lessons of this fight will resonate long after the final bell has rung, serving as a stark reminder of what it takes to succeed in one of the most demanding sports in the world. In the grand tapestry of boxing's history, the fight between Jake Paul and Mike Tyson stands out as a defining moment. It was a clash of eras, a meeting between the old guard and the new, and a moment that crystallized the tensions within the sport itself. Tyson's victory was a celebration of boxing's rich history and an affirmation of its enduring principles, while Paul's defeat was a necessary correction in the trajectory of his career, highlighting the perils of underestimating the sport and overestimating one's abilities. As the boxing world moves forward, the impact of this fight will be felt for years to come. It has shaped the narratives of both fighters, underscoring the importance of experience and respect in the ring. For Mike Tyson, it was a triumphant return that solidified his legacy as one of boxing's greatest, proving that even decades after his prime, his skills and power remain formidable. For Jake Paul, it was a sobering lesson in humility and the harsh realities of professional boxing, a wake-up call that success in the ring demands more than just fame and strategic opponent selection. Ultimately, the fight between Jake Paul and Mike Tyson was not just a battle between two individuals, it was a reflection of the evolving landscape of boxing itself. It highlighted the tension between the sport's storied past and its modern, media-driven present. Tyson's victory underscored the timeless value of experience, skill, and dedication, while Paul's defeat served as a cautionary tale about the limits of spectacle and the importance of genuine athletic prowess. In the end, this historic showdown will be remembered not just for the knockout punch that decided the outcome in under 2 minutes, but for the broader implications it holds for the sport of boxing. It was a moment that brought clarity to the true essence of boxing, reaffirming that while the ring may continue to attract new challengers and evolve with the times, the fundamental truths of discipline, respect, and skill remain the cornerstones of true boxing greatness.